This is TWiT.
Windows 10's coming out this summer. Although, as Paul Thurrott quickly pointed out, summer could be any time between June 20th and September 20th. Yeah. So they had originally said Windows 10 would be this fall, but it still could be, in a way, late 2015.
Did they ever actually say fall, or did we assume fall?
I think they said fall, didn't they?
They said this year.
I think the most important thing about it was actually the story that Ed did about the fact that Microsoft's going to, make it available for free, even outside of China.
Yeah, they're going to basically say, even if you have a pirated version of Windows, Windows 7 or 8 will allow you to upgrade to Windows 10 for free.
Any version.
Any version. Yeah. Now, actually, that really does make it any version, because if you're running Windows 95, just steal a copy of Windows 7, and you can upgrade. This is, Ed, you've been covering Bill Gates and Microsoft for a while. This is a dramatic shift from the Bill Gates Microsoft.
It really is, although they're basically what they're trying to do here is just get out of the paid upgrade business, except among enterprise customers. They want this to be basically your last Windows upgrade ever, and then once that happens, you're just on a continuous servicing model. And they say it'll be free. You'll buy Windows, it'll just be included into the price of a new device that you get. But any upgrades, updates, new features, and everything, those will just appear through Windows Update. No more paying for upgrades.
I assumed more that it was, and maybe this is hand in hand with what you, that it's really to reassure developers, look, we're going to catch everybody up. We're going to make sure that because right now, the majority of Windows users, I think, still use XP. Isn't it still more than
I think it's
7.
7? But XP is a significant percentage.
Businesses, I assume.
Yeah. So what Microsoft would love is to tell developers, look, everybody's going to use Windows 10. They're going to use this, which is good for developers because there's a unified development system. So you can write for any Windows 10 device. Write once. It works on Windows Phone. It works on Xbox One. It works on desktops. It works on tablets. Is this not a message to developers?
It is. I think that's part of it, but this is also a platform play. They want that platform. They want the Windows platform to remain, the largest single computing platform in the world. Which Android is creeping up, and then you also have Chrome making some progress. And I mean, the thing is, they want Windows as a platform to remain relevant. It is big. It's significant that they are, giving up this sort of honeypot of software upgrades. That's what's made Microsoft. They extracted all that value out of the PC ecosystem, turned all the PC makers into, low margin providers of hardware, and they extracted all the value out of that ecosystem by making people pay for Windows, making the providers pay for Windows, and making users pay for Windows upgrades. But that ship has kind of left the station, or left the port, and I think that, like Ed was saying, they're essentially giving up on that upgrade, that model. Enterprises will still pay for upgrades because they'll still pay for software insurance.
And that's got to be the bulk of the revenue is enterprise.
That's where a lot of the money is. Yeah, but for consumers, they will, and small businesses too, they will no longer have to pay for Windows to have the platform. But the trade-off that Microsoft's making there is by having that platform be ubiquitous, then they can make money off of a software store, same way Apple does off of selling you software through the store, of selling also media, movies and TV shows and books and those kinds of things. They can make their cut off that. So, but in order to do that, you have to have a really big platform. The bigger your platform is, the more widespread it is, the more money you can make off of all of that stuff. And so that's the trade-off for something like this. I mean, the thing is can you trade that platform? The platform has to get bigger and bigger and bigger and more widespread to make up for all those sort of pennies that you make on those transactions. You have to make up for a lot of software licenses that you're no longer kind of selling. But that's what that's my interpretation of where they're going with this.
It's kind of telling they did this in China too. This was at WinHEC in Shenzhen, China.
There's something to back up a little bit there too. And something you said, Leo, that I want to amplify a little bit. You said, doesn't XP still have a lot of usage? If you include China, it does.
There
are hundreds.
Those users never paid for it, but they're using it, right?
Right. There are hundreds of millions. So, there's all sorts of squishy, wiggly, not very accurate statistics floating around about which platforms and which operating systems are being used. But when you get big numbers for Windows XP, in general, that is counting the pirate population in China. Now, there are also a lot of enterprises in the Western world, in the developed world, but for the most part, those companies are paying fairly hefty support contracts for the right to continue running a no longer supported operating system. But XP is it's shrinking very, very quickly. And Windows 7 right now, the whole thing with Windows 10 is to prevent Windows 7 from turning into the next Windows XP and having it in 2020.
Nobody ever upgrades.
Here we go again.
Yeah.
That's what that's all about.
So XP has more market share than Windows 8 and 8.1 together. This is, I don't know, there's a lot of different measurements. This is from net market share. This is probably close to the actual percentages. 55 or 56% Windows 7, 19% XP, 10% 8.1, only 3.558, which shows that in a way that the test that Microsoft did of getting people from move to 8 to 8.1 was a success. So maybe they sensed there that they could do better. By the way, Mac is next at 3.55%, so it's kind of way behind there. Windows Vista 2.11%, and Linux 1.5%. So unless you include Android, this is on the desktop. So by giving away Windows 10 and not caring whether you're upgrading a pirated copy,
they do care, but they're kind of grudgingly saying we'll give it to you, but you're still a thief.
What do you have to say? You have to admit it, and then you get a free copy. I mean, what do you mean?
Well, actually, most of what I know of this, I know about by reading Ed's piece. So maybe Ed should talk about it.
Ed, what's the story here? They aren't going to verify that you're using genuine Windows, right?
Right. The idea, previously, well, first of all, this is the first time that a major whole number release of Windows is going to be released through Windows Update. It will just show up. In fact,
that's bizarre.
Well, it worked, but they're doing it right now with the Windows 10 preview.
Yeah.
You can sign up for the Insider program on Windows 7, and the Windows 10 upgrade will show up there in Windows Update. And on the systems that I've tried it on, the update takes about 20 minutes to complete on a Windows 7 machine. It's very quick, and it's been generally pretty accurate. But they want to make this a friction-free experience, precisely so that they can move as many people as possible into this world. And if you start putting piracy checks and things in there, then you add friction. So they'll just make it, they'll make it an update, and there it is, and you get it. And I think I tweeted something this week. Well, you can have your Windows 10, but you're still a thieving bastard of a pirate, yar.